and you thought your family was messed up. In this episode of Indigo Today, we'll be counting down our picks for the top 5 most messed up stories in Greek mythology. So hide your lightning thieves and pray to your gods of war, because this is about to get crazy. Number 5. Kronos eating his children.
Eating you will be more unpleasant for me.
We're starting off strong with Kronos, everybody's favorite father-killing, sickle-wielding titan. Here's a little backstory. Before there was anything, there was Gaia and Uranos, otherwise known as Mother Earth and Father Sky. Gaia and Uranos had 12 children, collectively known as the Titans, 6 girls and 6 boys. Kronos was one of them. After using his sickle to relieve his father of certain parts of his, anatomy, Kronos overthrew Uranos and married his sister Rhea, and together they became parents to the first of the Olympians, Hestia, Hera, Demeter, Hades, Poseidon, and Zeus.
Yo, Zeus! A little juice! That's it. I'm done with this place.
But before their first daughter was born, Kronos decided to pay a visit to the Oracle of Delphi. Rookie mistake. In Greek mythology, there exists the concept of the self-fulfilling prophecy, when a person meets his or her destiny on the road they take to avoid it. Kronos learns from the oracle that he is destined to be overthrown by his children, just like he did to his own father. So when Rhea gives birth to their first child, a baby girl by the name of Hestia, Kronos' first instinct is to swallow her whole. And so he and Rhea, for some odd reason, kept having children, and Kronos kept swallowing them. Finally, Rhea decided enough was enough, and when their 6th child was born, she hid him away on the island of Crete. This baby will grow up to be Zeus, ruler of the Olympians. Rhea then swaddles up a rock in blankets, pretending that it's Zeus, and hands it to Kronos, who promptly swallows it. Zeus grows up in Crete, and when he's old enough, returns to Olympus, defeats his father, and rescues his siblings alive from Kronos' belly. Somehow. Number 4. Mommy's boy Oedipus.
You're just a mama's boy.
Moving on, let's talk about Oedipus. A long time ago, there was a city called Thebes, ruled by King Laius and Queen Jocasta. When Jocasta gave birth to their first son, Laius decided to pay a visit to the oracle. Remember the self-fulfilling prophecy? Well, here we go again. Never go to the Oracle of Delphi. Laius learns from the oracle that he is destined to perish at the hands of his own son. Sound familiar? Troubled by this prophecy, Laius returns to Thebes and orders that his newborn son be killed by whatever means necessary. Can't die if there's no son to kill you, right? Wrong. Because he's too cowardly to do it himself, he orders Jocasta to kill him. Jocasta, very obviously repulsed by the idea of having to kill her own child, hands the baby over to a servant and orders him to kill the baby by abandoning him and exposing him to the elements. Before the poor baby dies though, he is found by a shepherd who takes him in. This shepherd brings the baby to the city of Corinth, and the childless King Polybus and Queen Merope of Corinth decide to adopt him. The baby grows up to be Oedipus. When he's fully grown, he hears a rumor that he is not his parents' actual son. Troubled, Oedipus travels to visit the oracle, who promptly tells him that he is destined to kill his father and, here's the real kicker, mate with his mother.
You're just a mama's boy.
Gross. Oedipus, in a foolish attempt to escape his fate, vows never to return to Corinth. Can't kill your father and mate with your mother if you're far away from them, right? Wrong. Oedipus resolves to run away from Corinth, but where does he run to? Thebes. He runs to Thebes. On his way there, he chances upon a king's chariot blocking the road. After arguing over who has the right of way, Oedipus kills the king and his party in a fit of ancient Greek road rage. You see where this is going. The king Oedipus killed was King Laius, aka Oedipus's biological father. He continues to Thebes and defeats the Sphinx guarding the city's gates, effectively freeing the city. Oedipus is hailed the hero of Thebes and is crowned the new king. Then he proceeds to marry the newly widowed queen, who also happens to be his mother.
Are you just a mama's boy?
Gross. When he learned the truth years later, Oedipus stabbed his own eyes out and went into exile until his death. Can you blame him? Number 3. Theseus and the Minotaur. She had a baby with a what now? This one is a wild ride from the very start. After inheriting the throne of Crete, King Minos praised Poseidon, the god of the sea. In response, Poseidon makes him promise to slaughter a bull. Minos finds the bull that is sent to him to be too majestic and decides not to kill it. Poseidon is now pissed and takes revenge in the most twisted way ever. He makes Minos' wife, Queen Pasiphae, fall madly in love with this bull and have a kid together with the bull. Born with the head of a bull atop a man's body, the child was named the Minotaur. Intending to keep it away from the public eye, Minos commissions Daedalus, the father of Icarus, to build a labyrinth to house the Minotaur. One day, one of Minos' biological sons, Androgeus, goes to Athens for the Panathenaic Games and is murdered by the Cretan bull, the father of the Minotaur. As punishment, a bereaved Minos commands Aegeus, king of Athens, to send 7 young maidens and bachelors to be sacrificed to the Minotaur in the labyrinth annually for 9 years. In the 3rd year of this agreement, Aegeus' son, Prince Theseus, embarks on a mission to kill the Minotaur under the guise of being part of the sacrificial troop. Theseus successfully kills the Minotaur and rescues his fellow Athenians, but amid celebrating his massive victory, he forgets about the deal he made with his father Aegeus. If he dies, his ship flies a black flag. If he makes it back alive, the ship flies a white flag. Our dear Theseus forgets to fly a white flag, and alas, his father is so overcome with grief that he throws himself overboard and drowns. Moral of the story: remember your promises and stick to them. Number 2. Narcissus, the first TikToker. Before there were TikTok dances and Twitter rants and random Facebook updates about your mediocre Sunday brunch, there was Narcissus, the epitome of unhealthy self-obsession and the origin of the word narcissist. Born to the river god Sisyphus and the river nymph Lairope, Narcissus was a hunter and supposedly one hell of a looker. The blind seer Tiresias told his mother that his life would be long and prosperous, so long as he never sets eyes on himself. Imagine being banned from ever seeing your own face. Some of these so-called influencers would legit die. Anyway, as he grows up, his captivating beauty is unfortunately overshadowed by his dissatisfied, restless heart, and he leaves a long trail of broken-hearted maidens and some bachelors behind him. Someone call my ex-wife. Narcissus' rejections and methods of spurning were so brutal that they eventually warranted divine intervention. In the most cruel instance, he sends the youth Amenius a sword to simply do away with himself, and upon committing suicide on Narcissus' doorstep, he asks the gods to teach him a lesson. In the end, Narcissus is cursed to see his own reflection in a river, pining for himself till he dies of starvation. In the spot he dies in, the very first narcissus flowers bloom. They are known today as daffodils. Number 1. Thanks, Pandora. It is a sad truth that misogyny is as old as human civilization itself, and as products of civilization, the religions and myths of history often reflect the misogynistic attitudes of their times. Let's see how the ancient Greeks blamed women for everything. After Prometheus steals fire from the gods and gives it to the mortals, Zeus decides to curse humanity by having Hephaestus, the god of fire and craftsmen, create Pandora, the first woman. Pandora, whose name means all gifts in Greek, was made by the gods to be both lovely and treacherous. Zeus presents Pandora to Epimetheus, the brother of Prometheus, as a wife and a gift. He also tasks Epimetheus with protecting a box containing all the evils of the world. Earlier, Prometheus had instructed Epimetheus to refuse any gifts from Zeus, but unfortunately, Epimetheus was a little slow on the take-up. In fact, his name translates to afterthought. With every passing day, Pandora ached to know what lay in the box entrusted to her husband despite strict instructions and warnings. Unfortunately, Pandora succumbs to temptation and opens the box. All the evils and hardship of the world escape it to plague humanity and continue to do so up to today. And when Pandora closed the box, she only managed to trap hope inside. So now I wake up every day feeling sick, tired, stressed, and hopeless. Thanks, Pandora.
Thanks, Sarah. You f***ed it up for everyone.
If this myth reminds you of the Judeo-Christian story of Eve and the forbidden fruit, it should. They're basically the same story with the same message. It's a good thing our society has progressed to a point where we don't demonize and hate women anymore, right? That's all for our list of messed up stories in Greek mythology. Which was your favorite? Let us know in the comments.